December 16th, 1773, the Boston Tea Party happened, which eventually during the American Revolution is why we Americans prefer coffee over tea in the mornings. Now, this happened, as we all know, in the Boston Harbor. Samuel Adams gathered up his Sons of Liberty, and they dressed as Mohawk Indians and went and tossed 342 chests of tea into Boston Harbor, sparking the beginning of the American Revolution. This was done in protest of the Tea Act that was passed. The Tea Act was designed to help the flailing East Indian Tea Company, which was going under. They were having some problems because this is what the East Indian Tea Company did. They went into Bengal, India, and they basically took over the government and everything. And they said, you know what, we're gonna use this whole country for money. We're gonna get ourselves rich from this country. And so they replaced all their regular crops, their food crops, with cash crops, tea, opium, well, the essentials. And so they created, which began a famine in India, in Bengal, because no one was growing food because they weren't allowed, because the British government had put in, basically, this is why conglomerates and companies and businessmen should not be leaders of a country. A country is not meant to produce money. That is a byproduct of your people that are in there, the people that live there. Us little peoples that live in the country. We're meant to live. We're not, meant to just provide cash crops for the people at the tippy top. That's not what we're meant for. Well, but that's what happened in Bengal. That's what happened, which created a famine, and then just mismanagement. They didn't know what the hell they were doing, and so they said, you know what? They said, hey, we need some help. We need some help. We've got all this product piling up, and we don't have, we can't get it out because you know what? There's so many other tea companies here, and we can't get rid of our tea. And we killed all these people. I believe it was 3 million, maybe. Anyway, 3 million Bengali people that died. Um, so they create this. So then Britain comes back and says, you know what? We'll take care of it. You are going to be the sole provider of tea to the colonies, and that'll get you out of debt, and we'll make the colonists pay for it. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. They don't mind. But they did in fact mind very much. Now, Samuel Adams, when this happened, because of course, this is what happens when somebody has a monopoly. Like the game was made to teach people about monopoly and business and everything, and why it's bad. Monopolies are bad because it's one person saying we own all this, and we're going to tell you what you're going to pay. And you're going to have to because we own it all, and that is what happened. So the East India Tea Company is like, all right, we're going to make money off of the colonists, and so they said, and the colonists are like, you know what, screw you and your tea. We don't want none of it, and they were pissed, and rightly so. I believe the three names of the ships were the Dartmouth, the Beaver, and the Eleanor. And I believe it was the Beaver that they went onto, and they tossed over these 342 chests of tea, which in today's money is $2 million worth of tea. Yeah, it wasn't just like, oh, a couple of barrels. They threw a lot in the harbor. And that's why the British got so pissed. They got really pissed off about that. Which is, I think, as Americans, is kind of it's our lot in life. We're meant to piss people off. So the Boston Tea Party contributes to the coercive or the intolerable acts, which is as bad as it sounds, okay? Because, like I said, the British were pretty pissed off about the tea being dumped into the harbor. With these acts, they established military rule. Ugh, we don't like military rule. Military should not be on American streets ever, ever, ever. They closed Boston to merchant ships, which meant, the only ones that could get into were the ones that they were saying could get in, which, monopoly. It also granted immunity to British officials, all British officials across the board, immunity. And the colonists were said, and you're going to house our British soldiers that are coming across. It is now your responsibility. And can you imagine? if we were told, like, you know what, and you have to take care of these soldiers that we're sending into your city. So yeah, needless to say, the Americans did not take kindly to that. This gave rise to the Continental Congress, which they pretty much were like, yeah, we're not gonna do it. And so they began to consider American home rule and the American Revolution. So the Boston Tea Party, and it was during all this that coffee becomes an American drink because if you were, an American patriot, you did not drink tea. You were telling, I was, yeah, up yours, British. We're gonna drink coffee. Screw your tea. We drink coffee. So yeah, that was what happened. Yeah, fun times, fun times. So there you go. Now we know. This over here is a fun little link. If you follow the link, it's to my Amazon store. Of course, I earn a commission, cents on the dollar, whatever. We are a capitalist country. But there's some fun stuff in there. Tea stuff, Samuel Adams stuff, and Boston Tea Party crap. So my name is Michelle. If you like this, give me a follow, give me a like, share it out, tell the world. Today is Boston Tea Party Day, so go drink a cup of coffee.